It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is showtime. Geno Jones Showtime. I come to you live Monday through Friday. Now, my normal days, they are my normal start days. Now, next week, a programming note, no live show next Tuesday. It'll be the best of the Geno Jones Show. But normally, you can see this show live right here on the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel, Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's about 7:30 right now. Chicago, stand up, stand strong. I see you, Governor J.B. Pritzker. He said, if you come for my people, you got to come through me. Talking to Owen Chitler. And I'm standing I'm right there with you, Governor J.B. Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson. So Chicago, everybody else on Central Time, 6:30, live in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, up in Seattle, Portland, Oregon. And I'm standing with you, Portland, Oregon, because I got my firstborn and my son-in-law. You know I'm standing with you and everybody else on the West Coast, 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon. Tell everybody to subscribe to this channel right now. We are about 56 new subscribers and becoming a YouTube partner. That means that YouTube will financially support, they'll monetize this channel and my media company. And it is so important that we support black-owned media, alternative media, but we need more black-owned media to, as my grandmother says, tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth, shame the devil. That's what Gene Jones taught me as a little boy. And that's what we stand 10 toes down on every single episode right here on the Geno Jones Show. So make sure that you tell everybody to subscribe to the show, subscribe to my YouTube channel. They can share any and all my episodes. This episode, you can share, you can copy and paste the link, you can do a screenshot, you can grab some of the video, make it go viral. You have my blessing. Oh, by the way, please leave your comments in the comment section below. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. And the show is interactive. What does that mean? The show is interactive means you can get active and get in and be a part of the show and be active. Give me your feedback, give me your comments, whatever you want to say, whatever you got to say, jump in my chat room live and I'll read your comments live on camera. Maybe shout you out. Shout out to you, birthday, whatever, who's celebrating a birthday. Shout out to Reverend Jesse Jackson, celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, CC Winans, celebrating a birthday today. And the human sperm bank, one of them anyway, no, not Elon Musk, Nick Cannon. So happy birthday to the human sperm bank himself. Nick Cannon is celebrating a birthday. And everybody and anybody else celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday. The Geno Jones Show brought to you by CojoLLC.com, CojoLLC.com. If you're looking to buy or sell a home anywhere in the Carolinas, South Carolina, North Carolina, my girl, my people, Courtney Johnson, who's the CEO of CojoLLC.com, she is your person. Buy, sell, first home, second home, dream home, last home, downsizing a home, home that you want to rent out, like income property. She's got you covered. Buy or sell. 843 is the area code, 543-4022. That's an 843 area code, 543-4022. Courtney Johnson. Thank you, Courtney, for being a sponsor of the Geno Jones Show. And anyone else that would love to be a sponsor, once again, it is so important that we support black-owned media. So you can support the show financially as a sponsor, like Kojo LLC. Just shoot me an email, use my Gmail, GenoJonesShow@gmail, GenoJonesShow@gmail. Also, if you want to support the show financially, no amount is too small or too large, you can Zelle or Cash App the Geno Jones Show and my media company, Geno Media. So now, if you want to use Zelle, just use my email address that I just gave you, Geno Jones Show. That's how you spell Geno Jones Show, all one word, at Gmail. Or you can Cash App Dad G Jones. All one word, capital D, lowercase a D, capital G, capital J, lowercase ONES. Dad G Jones. All right, let's jump right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Shut it down. Shut the whole goddamn thing down. Shut it down. Shut down the U.S. economy. I'm calling for an economic blackout, especially for black Americans, but it's open to all Americans. That's against the racism and bigotry and the hatred, the misogyny, the sexism, the religious extremism, this racist remixed Jesus-free version of a religion that they try to give a label as white Christian nationalism, which is this racist, evil, violent, religious, extreme perversion of Christianity that surrounds Orange Hitler and the MAGA cult. So if you're against that, extract your money from this economy. Because all this talk about Orange Hitler wanting to invoke the Insurrection Act. So let's talk about, I want to educate everybody. I want you to know, and if you got any other questions, jump in my chat room right now. So listen, do a screenshot, grab this video, and send it to everybody you know. So let's talk about the Insurrection Act and what you really can and can't do legally. The Insurrection Act came about 1807. It's a federal law that allows a U.S. president to deploy the U.S. military nationally, like nationwide, and to federalize the National Guard. That means to take over the National Guard in each individual state from the governors. Because the way the Constitution is written, that every state has their own branch of the National Guard. And the governor of that state, whichever state you want to talk about, the governor is like the commander-in-chief. He is in control of the National Guard. Now, Orange Hitler has already dipped into the Insurrection Act, kind of, sort of, because he is federalizing, what they call it federalizing, or taking over troops, like the Illinois National Guard that he's deploying to Chicago, along with some of these National Guard assholes. I'm sorry, you all. I get it. You know, you don't want to be court-martialed, but at some point you got to take a stand because you're being used as props, and y'all not even getting paid, especially with this government shutdown. I digress. So the Insurrection Act is a federal law that will allow a U.S. president to, like I said, to deploy, to send, deploy means send, to send the U.S. military out nationally and to federalize or to take over the National Guard in each individual state. Now, this is important. Well, can he just do it because he wants to just pull it out of his ass? Legally, no. Legally, no. There has to be specific circumstances. This is written in the law. To invoke the Insurrection Act, a U.S. president legally can do this under specific circumstances, like an insurrection. Oh, what does an insurrection look like? Oh, January 2021, when Orange Hitler went not too far from the White House and stood in front of these cult members and said, we got to take out more of our country, and we got to storm. And this punk ass said, I'm going to meet you down there. But he never went, and he sent those cult members, and they literally, physically, and violently stormed the U.S. Capitol to stop them from certifying the presidential election when he lost in January 6th, 2021. that literally, which was live on television, the insurrectionists, they live streamed the insurrection. They live streamed it on social media. It was seen live all across the world. Everybody's gotten seen the video. So that was an insurrection. But this same man, Orange Hitler, who's talking about he wants to invoke the Insurrection Act, didn't invoke the Insurrection Act when it was an actual insurrection in progress, when this punk ass sat in the White House eating junk food and looking at TV. So the specific circumstances that a U.S. president can invoke the Insurrection Act if there's an actual insurrection and an armed rebellion. Oh yeah, they kind of had arms, and we found out some of those insurrections on January 6, 2021, they actually had guns. But they had other weapons that they used, so they were armed with all kind of crude weapons, and they were taking like flags and using them for like knives and spears to try to stab the police, the Capitol Police. So the specific circumstances for a U.S. president to invoke, to declare an insurrection, or invoke the Insurrection Act, which will trigger martial law, is there has to be an insurrection and an armed rebellion against the federal government, which is exactly what we saw. So we know exactly what an insurrection looks like, because all we got to do is just right here on YouTube, just pull up the video from the insurrection, January 6, 2021. Now, I want to ask you, is there any evidence of an actual insurrection and armed rebellion against the federal government in Chicago, in LA, in Memphis, Tennessee, in Washington, right there in the nation's capital, in Washington, D.C.? There has, not since January 6, 2021, has there been any insurrection, any armed rebellion against the federal government. Not at all. Now, this punk ass will tell you, well, because, black people really want the military on the streets of Chicago. Okay, listen, I was born and raised in Chicago. I got family in Chicago, lots of family, friends I went to elementary school with, high school, and college. And I can speak for black folks in Chicago. Now, these few MAGA assholes that's getting a check or that's got something wrong with their brain, very small, not even a handful of fools that may say, oh yeah, we want the military. We want the military because of crime. First of all, the crime is gone. Murders, violent crimes, down like 30%. As a matter of fact, the murder rate is the lowest it's been in over 60 years in Chicago. So we're going to tell the truth and shame the devil. So there's no video evidence of any insurrection and armed rebellion against the federal government, and no Orange Hitler. Black folks want you to get the fuck out of there. They don't want you. They don't want ICE. They don't want the Border Patrol, Coast Guard and Border Patrol, CBP, Coast Guard, Border Patrol, CBP. You see those letters. They don't want none of that. None of you all. They don't want none of you violent, evil Nazis, modern day Nazis. They do not want none of these federalized federal troops that you have sent to Chicago. No black folks. No, black folks do not want none of it. I guarantee you, the black folks, the elderly black people, and the babies and the families and the babies that you snatch out of their houses brought some of those babies outside naked, nude at 3 in the morning, zip tied like they were murderers. I guarantee you those black folks in that apartment complex on 75th and South Shore right in front of Rainbow Beach did not want none of you Nazis in Chicago with the Black Hawk helicopter that literally you had hovering over the building, and you've got these Nazis climbing down out of a damn Black Hawk helicopter, storming an apartment complex of families, elderly people, babies, children, and what, you arrested 37 Venezuelans? Did they have weapons? Did they have any guns? That it took all that you all literally, like you were storming Baghdad or Fallujah. You had federal troops, ICE agents, and others in camouflage with weapons, trucks, and a Black Hawk helicopter to arrest 37 unarmed Venezuelans? Really? So, I wanted to explain to you exactly what is the Insurrection Act and how legally, what are the legal conditions for a U.S. president to invoke the Insurrection Act, declaring martial law. He just can't just pull it out of his ass. Now he's going to try to do it, probably. But there's no armed rebellion, there's no insurrection, an armed rebellion against the federal government. Nobody has taken up arms and stormed the U.S. Capitol since January 6, 2021, when he was actually in the White House. And he could have invoked the Insurrection Act, and his punk ass didn't do anything because they were his MAGA, because he led the insurrection. He sent the MAGA cult Nazis down to the U.S. Capitol to stop the certification of the election, basically to take over the House of Representatives and the Senate, who were looking, they threatened and were looking to assassinate the vice president at the time, Mike Pence. They came with a gallows, a hangman's gallows, complete with a noose, yelling and chanting, "Hang Mike Pence." So they're like, oh, we're here to assassinate the vice president. They're chanting, we're going to assassinate the vice president. Now, if that wasn't a reason to invoke the Insurrection Act, there's never been one. And there will never be one. They'll never, like this song, there will never be one. That these insurrectionists and Nazis you sent to the U.S. Capitol to assassinate your very own vice president, who had been loyal and kissing your ass for 4 years, but he didn't kiss it enough. And they were looking to assassinate Nancy Pelosi, Jim Clyburn, and others that was in the House of Representatives and U.S. Senators. And Orange Hitler did not invoke the Insurrection Act. But now you want to invoke the Insurrection Act because you say, cities are burning. Portland is not burning. Anytime this man opens his mouth, please understand, anytime Orange Hitler opens his mouth, it's a noun, it's a verb, and it's a lie. It's probably a lie, a noun, a lie, a verb, and a lie. Sometimes it's not even a noun or verb, it's just a lie, lie, lie. Stick to the lies. My grandmother said he will invent the lie and then stick to the lie like flypaper. So here we tell the truth and shame the devil. So I'll go back to the open of the show. What happens? What are some of the things we can do if this happens? Shut it down. Shut this shit down. Shut down the economy. Because it's already shutting down. The price of everything, from cereal to eggs, you name it, to chicken, to beef, to coffee, gas, everything, the price, everything. And now people's health insurance tripling in cost. Because Orange Hitler and the MAGA cult in Congress shut down the U.S. government because they want to be able to take away your health care, to take away your grandmother's Medicaid or Medicare, to take away the money that pays for your grandparent or your parents staying in a nursing home. Or maybe your loved one has a wheelchair, oxygen, in-home health care, just an in-home housekeeper. Or a housekeeper that comes over to cook meals and to clean the house and to take them to doctor's appointments and to buy groceries. Or you've got a child on Medicaid, asthma, juvenile diabetes, epilepsy, maybe some condition when they were born, anything that they could be dealing with. I think like over 40% of the children in America that get health insurance, almost half get health insurance through Medicaid. So Orange Hitler and the MAGA cult shut down the government because they want to take the money that would go to help you or your family to make sure that you get Medicare and Medicaid and the subsidies for the millions, tens of millions of people that have Obamacare that have already got letters that said that, oh, your insurance, you paid $8,000 for health insurance last year. The subsidy saved you a lot of money. You only had to pay $8,000 a year. So that's not even rounded out close to $800, under $800 a month, a little over $700 a month. Do the math. Right around there, $700 a month. So last year, or this year, you paid $8,000 a month for health insurance because you had the Obamacare subsidies that saved you money. Well, that's going to be gone now. So your health insurance that was $8,000 for the year through Obamacare, well, now that's going to be $24,000 for the year. So your premium that was $250 a month, now is $1,000 a month. Because that's happening. The emails have already been out. Oh, and by the way, for those who say, well, I don't have Obamacare. I've got Blue Cross and Blue Shield. I've got United Healthcare. I've got Aetna. I've got, Kaiser Permanente or whatever. Ochsner down in New Orleans. It don't matter. Guess what? Your health insurance is going up too, because you probably got some of the same emails. Oh, yeah. They're going up because they can. They're going to raise the rates on everybody's health insurance. Because, and not to mention take away your SNAP benefits, so that EBT card that you had some money put on it about a week ago today, over $1 trillion in cuts to Medicaid, Medicare, Obamacare, SNAP benefits. And they want to take that over $1 trillion to give to Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and Peter Thiel and these billionaires. Some of these racist, evil cabal billionaires is part of this MAGA cult, that's leading this MAGA cult. So, Orange Hitler has shut down the government. Hundreds of thousands of people are federal employees not getting a check. Air traffic controllers calling in sick. TSA agents, not enough. Trying to fly into O'Hare, which I would never do. And folks from Chicago, unless they live on the Northwest Side, avoid O'Hare at all costs. But all the airports, delays. TSA agents, air traffic controllers. Primarily, that's the big problem, because the air traffic controllers got to make sure these damn planes don't collide with each other and run into each other either on the ground or in midair. and you need your TSA agents. So, aren't you able to shut down the government? Now he's talking about invoking the Insurrection Act because he's already done it by using ICE. But he's like, oh, he sent Marines, 400 Marines to California until Governor Newsom had to go to court to get them out. Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson, Governor Pritzker of Illinois and Mayor Johnson in Chicago, they've already filed lawsuits, so a judge is supposed to make a ruling on that tomorrow. But these assholes are so arrogant. These Texas National Guards, they're talking about they'll be on the streets. They could be on the streets right now in Chicago, Wednesday night. But the judge is going to make that ruling, and the judge is not going to be happy. It's like, oh, well, damn, y'all just don't give a shit about me. You just F me. But good, I hope they keep pissing off these judges and keep pissing off the military. Because I'm telling you, these retired generals and admirals are not with this bullshit. They are not with this person that's sitting in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in the White House. They are not with him using the military as props. They are not with him basically sicking the U.S. military on its own citizens. They are not with having him, they're not with Orange Hitler basically sending these military members, which is even, they're not with the national, they're not with any branch of the military being used against its own citizens, its own neighbors and friends and classmates and cousins. No. Yeah, you got your little MAGA cult faction in the military, but I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I've been told by people, especially retired military men who served with distinction, honor, and valor. They're not with this. They don't respect, you know what they call Orange Hitler? A draft dodger. And what do they call the Secretary of Defense? He called it, oh, it's the Secretary of War. Pete Hegseth with his punk ass. He's the kind of dude back in the day that would talk all the shit, and then when the fight breaks out, he'd be the first, he'd throw the rock, then he'd hide his hand and then run all the way to the back and hide behind somebody or run home. He is that punk ass. And you know what they call him? They call him a drunk. Like his co-workers, his former co-workers at Fox News, fake news, AKA the Fox Propaganda Channel, called him. That's what millions of men and women, retired military, active duty, they do it too, but they have to, they could be court-martialed, so they have to be very smart and strategic. Who and when, so they don't really talk pop, but I guarantee you, trust me. But the retired men and women, you see them all on social media, you see them here on YouTube. They're not with this bullshit. They're not with him using the military as props and using the military to attack American citizens. Just because you hate black people and you hate brown people and you hate cities that's not kissing your ass. That's it. With this lie, oh, no, you don't. How could you give a shit about crime? You are a 34-time convicted felon. You are found liable, adjudicated sexual offender in a civil trial. E. Jean Carroll, that you still owe this woman, what, around $90 million? So with your rap sheet, if you want to get tough on crime, start with yourself and those 1,000 Nazis that stormed the U.S. Capitol for you on January 6th of 2021 that you pardoned. So if you tough on crime, start with yourself and those insurrectionists that stormed the Capitol on January 6th, like I said, 2021. And miss me. Keep Chicago out of your fucking mouth. Keep Baltimore, keep D.C., L.A., Memphis, But definitely keep Chicago out of your fucking mouth. Because you don't give a shit about Chicago, and Chicago don't give a shit about you. All these Nazis that you got on the ground. But karma's real. I'm going to keep saying it. Karma's real. But in the meantime, I want all America to stand with me. I'm wearing all black. This is symbolic for an economic blackout. Shut the U.S. economy down. Shut this shit down because he's already screwed it up. He's already effed it up, Orange Hitler has. So keep on. Mr. Want to be dictator? Okay. And all these racist Nazis are, we want a civil war. No, you don't. You don't know what, you don't know what I tell you what you think you want no parts of. Because it's not going to end well for anybody. And in the meantime, while you were talking about a civil war, these billionaires who you identify with because of this made-up con game, social construct called race, this whiteness, which many of your ancestors weren't even part of the whiteness, the white race, when they immigrated to America. The Irish and Italians and the Germans and the Polish and the Ukrainians, Eastern Europeans, those from Greece or Spain or Portugal. You weren't considered, or the European Jews, they didn't consider you white. You were like when your ancestors immigrated here from the late 1700s, especially Italian and Irish, German, Jewish, Eastern European, Chinese, who they had work on the railroads, but they couldn't marry, they couldn't have a wife or children. All they could do was work on the damn railroad. They passed laws to try to keep you out the way they're doing these Latino brothers and sisters. These white billionaires don't give a shit about you, poor and working class white America. They don't give a shit about you. They despise you. They look down on you worse than they do black people. Because their attitude is, we rigged this system for white people. So if you're not a billionaire, it must be something wrong with you. And if you don't believe me, then look at the policies, look at the laws that they have passed. You think they give a shit about you or your grandparents or your mother losing her Medicaid or Medicare? You think they give a shit about you or your children, your grandchildren losing health insurance through Medicaid? Or your family losing your health insurance or not being able to afford it? The Obamacare health insurance you have because you can't afford the premiums now because your premiums have tripled or more. They've gone up 90, 100%. You think they care about you eating when they take away SNAP benefits and that EBT card you needed to at least try to get you to close to the end of the month of having enough groceries in the house for you and your family? No, they don't give a shit about you. They're like, fuck you. And I said it and I meant it. That's the attitude is, fuck you. To poor and working class white America and everybody else that is not a billionaire. They want Elon Musk to have more money, a bigger tax cut. They want Elon Musk and they want Mark Zuckerberg and they want Jeff Bezos and Peter Thiel. They want all these billionaires. They want Elon, not that Elon Musk needs the money. He's already getting $8 million a day of U.S. taxpayer money. He's got an array. An array means a lot. He's got a host. He has numerous government contracts. And those government contracts, his company, Starlink, maybe Tesla, I think Tesla too, that the U.S. government had to bail out and kept Tesla from going under, from going broke, going out of business. Elon Musk's companies get $8 million. That's $8 million a day. Not a year, not every 6 months, not every month, not every week. $8 million a day. in American taxpayer dollars through government contracts. But that ain't enough. No, we got to give Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, those billionaires, they need some more money. So we don't give a shit about these poor folks. And we don't give a shit about these poor white folks that's running around these MAGA hats. Make America great, and I love Donald Trump. That's my orange Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, Donald John Trump. With your flags and your hat in your garages, they're making a fool out of you. They don't give a shit about you, me, nobody else. If you're not a white, wealthy, male billionaire, and they don't, it's funny, and they don't like the LGBTQ community, but you got a few of these billionaires like Peter Thiel that don't talk about it, but don't necessarily fit the straight cisgender profile. I'm just saying. I will close by saying this, and this is something I've been preaching on this show for a long time. Hey, Rosalind, and hello to Mary Dixon. Thank you to everybody in the chat room. The way to get people's attention with money and power, or the way to get people's attention with money and power and political power, is to dig in their pockets or to dig in the pockets of people that are paying and financially that's propping up people with money and power. Got to go digging in them pockets. And the best way to dig in them pockets, if this madness continues, shut this shit down. Shut down the U.S. economy. And for Black America, I'm saying only buy black. White America, too. Hispanic, Latino America, Latino brothers and sisters, the same, all of it. I'm telling you. So, for as long as you see ICE, National Guard on the U.S. streets, then that's how long we need to shut down this economy. Extract your money from the economy. Especially these major corporations. Target found out. We got to listen. It's that moment now. People have to know, just like these folks are serious, those of us that believe in humanity and see our common humanity in each other, yes, our common humanity, we have to be even more serious than these forces of darkness, bigotry, hatred, racism, misogyny, sexism, homophobia, and hate and evil in all of its forms. We got to be more serious than the dark side. And you're divisive, Geno. You call it the dark side. And what is it? What is it that would allow? What is it that would allow people to sanction and to sign off of using ICE agents, federal troops, to storm an apartment building full of just innocent, hardworking, tax-paying, primarily, but majority, black men, women, families, and children, to arrest 37 Venezuelans? It took 300 ICE agents and other federal agents to arrest 37 Venezuelans that was unarmed in an apartment building, while you went door to door and snatched out all of these black families, elderly and babies, and zip-tied them for hours and had them outside in the cold. Some of these babies were nude. What would you do? There's no other way to describe that. That's evil. That's depravity. That's what Nazi Germany did. But now you think about it, before that, that's America. Jim Crow laws. All the lynching, the rape, the murder. The blood is on this country's hands. The violence that was sanctioned by the state or the government. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Once again, the way to get people's attention with money and power is to dig in the pockets of people with money and power, or dig in the pockets of people with money and power who give money to other people with money and power. Start digging in their pockets. By proxy, you'll get their attention. Because what will happen is when you start digging in those pockets of people with money and power, i.e. the business community, with the holiday. So when Trump cancels Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's Eve and Halloween, Orange Hitler cancel Christmas. That's going to be the headline. Because folks can't afford it. Because they don't want to go out on the streets because of ICE agents just snatching people off the street or storming their apartment complex. And then you got almost 1 million government federal workers that's not getting a paycheck. TSA, air traffic controllers, all these federal workers. Meanwhile, the price of everything is skyrocketed. Groceries, cereal, coffee, chicken, those of y'all that eat meat, everything. Price is skyrocketed. So fuck it. Shut it down. Save some money. Find some farmers in your community. Go buy your groceries from them. If you can't grow some stuff, maybe too late. But shut it down. We'll be all right. Because the only way to get people's attention with money and power is to dig in their pockets. Ask Target. Ask Disney. I guarantee you, enough money extracted out of this economy by consumers. Consumers are me and you people that buy groceries and gas. Folks is going to buy Halloween costumes. You got Thanksgiving and a whole lot. It's going to be a whole lot of groceries. A lot of grocers now. Come on, they're like, wait a minute. I'm going to need y'all to come in and buy these turkey and dressing and all this other stuff for Thanksgiving dinners and everything. And then Black Friday and Christmas. This is the money, literally the money time of the year when a lot of companies don't go into what they call black. They don't even begin to turn a profit until the fall, winter, holiday season. So no, an economic blackout. Extract your money from this economy. Long as we see these federal troops, military, cosplaying military folks, terrorizing people in the streets of Chicago and these other cities. Okay. Then y'all have fun. Let's see if these ICE agents will make up for all the money that's extracted out of the economy. Let's see if these ICE agents are going to go down on North Michigan Avenue and shop at Nike and FAO Swords and buy toys and all these other Nordstroms and all these other stores, department stores. And you got the Nike store. You've got, see if these ICE agents are going to go to the Apple store and buy these iPhones and iPads. No. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show live, Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. Tell everybody to subscribe to this channel. It's so important, and it is so important that we support Black-owned media because we have to have a platform that's going to tell the truth, or platforms that's going to tell the truth and shame the devil. And that's what we do here, along with so many other platforms. Here on YouTube, you got brothers and sisters from Joey Reed and Don Lemon and my man Roland Martin, and he's got his own platform. And yes, we'll be having some news in 2026 about launching or relaunching our own platform. We'll tell you. I've talked about it before. We'll talk about that later. More about that later. So they're playing, not to mention Karen Hunter, Clay Kane, Reese Colbert, and what they're doing on Sirius XM Urban View, which is it's amazing. These brothers and sisters, they are a national, a global treasure. So shout out to Dr. Greg Carr, my man Lamont King, and then Reese, what's my girl, Laree Daniel Favors, Clay Kane and Reese Colbert and Karen Hunter. Even shout out to brother Al Sharpton, everybody. Sirius XM, they have a channel called Urban View 126. It's amazing, so I always give them a big shout out. And it's brother Dr. Greg Carr, Professor Howard. Brilliant. Come out. Chef's kiss, brother, is brilliant. Brilliant, bad, and real. He's just an amazing. You can find him here on YouTube, Dr. Greg Carr. So just wanted to shout them out. Once again, I want to shout out Courtney Johnson, The Geno Jones Show, brought to you by KojoLLC.com. Courtney Johnson is the CEO. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, any kind of home, you're looking to buy first home, second home, dream home, downsize a home, whatever you're looking to do, buy a home for income property, whatever it is, in the Carolinas, South Carolina, North Carolina, Courtney Johnson. KojoLLC.com. You can go to her website, KojoLLC.com. Call her, 843 area code 543-4022, 843 area code 543-4022. Tell her that you were watching the Geno Jones Show. She's supposed to be on tomorrow, Courtney's Corner. So look for her. We'll reach out to her. I want to thank everybody. Shout out to Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. Check him out, KELBECUTTINUP, Kelby Cutting Up on Instagram. And Allie Jones on Instagram, IG. Check Allie and her Lexi Jones collection out. She's a fashion designer, future superstar. She was a supermodel and she's a DJ. Super talented. Check her and her Lexi Jones collection out, LX.NCL_. LX.NCL_. We'll see you live Thursday. Once again, please, everybody watching me live or anybody watching this episode, please give me the thumbs up. Please like this and then go back and binge watch all my back episodes. Click on that like button, that thumbs up. Please share this episode, every episode, share with everyone on your social media platforms. You can share the episodes, tag the episodes, copy and paste the link. Leave your comments, please. Please, 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 please. Do my James Brown impersonation without the cape. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Once again, thank everybody. When you're watching the show live, it is interactive, so you can join the conversation or start it or ask a question or give me a comment, leave a comment. Thank you to Rosalind Anderson and Mary Dixon, and I love it. I love you. Love it. Everybody. I love everybody that loves back. We ain't going to address the evil and the haters. Karma's going to take care of them, but we got to take care of each other. We'll see you live Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. I see you, Chicago. I'm standing with you. 4:30 p.m. out there in Portland, Oregon. I see you. I'm standing with you, too.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.